Howdy champs, my name is Mohit and guys, today I'm going to talk about CSS specificity. It's a term that's not understood quite easily. It's there's a lot of confusion around, and most people haven't actually heard the term CSS specificity. What exactly am I talking about? You see guys, there'll be situations when you're actually writing your CSS styles that on a single element more than one style may get applied. What happens in such a case is the CSS style of the rule or the CSS selector with the highest specificity, which is more specific, the one which has more importance, will get applied. Okay, but is there a way to actually work out specificity in terms of a number? Okay, is there a way to actually calculate the weightage, how heavy or how strong or how powerful a specific rule is? Yes, there is. Let me show it to you through an example. Guys, have a look out here. I have the opening body tag out here and a closing body tag out here. Sandwiched in between, I have two h1 tags. Okay, this is a opening h1, this is the closing h1, and we have two headings, right? So have a look out here in the design area. This is heading 1, this also is heading 1. They both have different colors. Okay, and have a look out here in the styles panel. I have 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so actually 5 rules of CSS styles or CSS selectors that are getting applied to this first heading 1. Yes, the way that I've written the code has actually made all the 5 rules apply themselves to this line of HTML CSS code. Let me explain what am I talking about. You see, I have made a tag rule. This is h1 is the tag selector, guys, and the color is kind of brownish. Okay, you can see out here in the properties pane down below that the only property through the rule that I'm applying is the color brown. Okay, I made yet another rule. Now this is h1 pound sign or hash sign red. Okay, and the color is kind of pinkish. Okay, basically this rule means that every h1 element that has an ID red should get the rule, should get this color. Okay, the third rule says h1 colon first child. It's a pseudo class, guys, a pseudo element. So basically the first occurrence of the h1 should get a green color. Okay, then I have a class red, and the color that will be applied through this class is kind of red. Okay, then I have a pound sign red, an ID selector out here. Again, the color being applied is kind of red. Okay, have a look out here, guys. I have an opening h1 tag, then I have a class attribute and ID attribute, which means the class red as well as the ID red should get applied to the h1. But this h1 is also the first child. Okay, this h1 is also an element h1. Okay, so basically what is happening is all the 5 rules are getting applied to this the first heading, since it's the first child, since it has a class, since it has an ID as well. Okay, this rule is also getting applied because this is h1 with an ID red. Okay, so but guys, you have a look out here. When 1 2 3 4 and 5 rules are getting applied, only one rule takes precedence. It overrides every other rule. Why does this happen? This happens because of specificity. The rule which is more specific gets applied, and as I said, you can actually calculate it. And let me explain how this actually happens. You see out here, guys, this rule, the second rule, which is h1 pound sign red, which is the color is kind of purplish, I think. Okay, has been applied. Now why does this rule has more weightage than any other rule? Let me tell you. Now this is a tag selector. A tag selector has a specificity value of just 1. Okay, a class selector has a specificity value of 10. An ID selector has a specificity value of 100. Okay. Now let's consider this rule, h1 colon first child. Now colon first child is actually the colon, only the colon first child is a pseudo class selector. A pseudo selector, pseudo element has a specificity of 10, and the element h1 has a specificity of 1. So total combined specificity of the weightage is 11. Okay, let's consider this one, h1 colon red, right? So this rule has a specificity of 101. Let me explain why. Because the ID # red, an ID selector has a specificity of 100, and it's combined with the tag selector. So ID with the tag selector makes it 101. This is a rule. Okay, it's a class selector specificity just 10. So let me go again. Specificity weightage 1. This is 101. This is 11. This is 10, and this is 100. Obviously, when all the 5 rules get applied, the one with the highest specificity, which is the second rule, h1 # red, specificity 101, will take precedence and will get applied, as you can see out here. All right. Okay, let's see why the second heading is actually brown. Okay, this is because it's an h1 element. It does not have the ID red. Okay, it's not the first child. It does not have the class red or the ID red. That's why the second heading 1 has the brown color. All right. So guys, notice out here, although it has the class and the ID as well, but the only rule that got applied was the second one. Okay, now there is a CSS selector which has a specificity of 1000 and which will override every other rule. Let me show it to you. That is the style tag. If I use the style tag, let me show it to you how. Color, and let me choose a color. Let me go with blue, and that's it. Okay, as you can actually see that it's turned itself blue. Now that's because the style tag has a specific, an inline style that is, has a specificity of 1000. All right, so that's gonna override every other style or CSS selector. Right. So guys, this is a little advanced, a little confusing, but if you are actually applying a rule and banging your head and scratching your head thinking why the rule didn't get applied, that happened simply because of the way the specificity works. Specificity means the order of importance, or how specific really a rule is. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it appended to your knowledge, and I hope to see you very soon. You have a good day, guys. Bye bye. Peace.